I'm nervous excited for today's video because we're gonna do a full face of first impressions. Milk Makeup sent me a huge PR package. Also got a couple new products from Tinted, this epic bronzer blush hybrid, one of their new liquid lip balms in this luminizer shade, brand new launches from an indie brand called Finding Ferdinand, a new Innbeauty lip glaze, and a new shade of Wander Beauty's Double Date eyeshadow duos that I purchased. Today's sponsor is one of my favorite brands, Innbeauty Project, to let you know that their Black Friday sale is currently happening from now until November 27th. You can use the code SHOP20 for 20% off all items on their website, or if you spend $75 or more, you can get 25% off with the code SHOP25. I'm a total broken record about this. I already talked about their Black Friday sale and their new lip glaze in Merlot before they asked me to do the sponsorship. So thank you, Innbeauty, for always recognizing the value in compensating creators. If you don't know, my favorite products are their Keep It Clean Gel Cleanser, their face glaze, the slushy serum, and the lip glazes, and I will leave links to all of the reviews that I have for those products in the description box below. Stay tuned to the end of the video to see me apply the new lip glaze in Merlot, and now let's get into the video. First up, Milk Makeup sent me two primers. They have their Hydrating Hydro Grip Primer and their Mattifying Primer, and I thought it might be cool to do one on each side to see what my experience is. So I'm gonna apply just a little bit of the primers on each side. This is the Mattifying Primer. I can already tell it has a little bit of that, you know, very classic kind of silicone slip type feeling. Unfortunately, it does seem scented, so that might be an issue for me. I tend to try to avoid products with fragrance because I have such sensitive skin, but we'll see. It smells very herbal. And now I'm going in with the Hydro Grip Primer. I don't think this one is scented. At least I don't think so. It feels like much more of a hydrating kind of tacky finish primer, which is nice because when you have a tackier product, I find that makeup grips really well to it, so I understand why this is called Hydro Grip. So the Hydro Grip side of my face feels very tacky, as you can see, probably gonna grip onto makeup really well. And then this side of my face feels completely matte, very, very soft. Now, they did send me their Sunshine Skin Tint in light medium, but I've tried this before. I actually owned this product many years ago when it first launched, and it really was not for me. I remember it being loaded with citrus oils that really irritated my skin. It's very much just a skin tint, and I'm the kind of person who would rather take more of a full coverage product and kind of just lightly dot it all over my face. It's also very thick and very, very dewy. Made my skin look super, super shiny, and since I tend to get pretty shiny in my T-zone, I just know that I'm not gonna give this product a good review, and I would rather pass it to someone who can really enjoy it. So because of that, instead, I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of my REM concealer in 7C, which is my absolute perfect shade match. This comes in 60 shades. It's incredible. You can buy it on Ulta. It's not very expensive, and the coverage is completely adjustable. It can just be applied sheerly for a really light wash of color, or you can completely build it up for a more full coverage look. And what I love about it is that it has a soft matte finish. So for me, a soft matte finish is the easiest to adjust because you can always add glowier products underneath or on top of a matte finish, but it's very difficult to take the shine down of a product that's super, super glowy. Onto the Pore Eclipse Mattifying Primer side, I feel like my concealer started drying down on the primer. It's a little bit harder to blend on my face, which is just good to know for next time that that helps set your foundation. Whoa, okay, I'm gonna zoom you in. The mattifying primer side is looking pretty bad. It is totally settling into a lot of different texture that I have on my face, whereas the Hydro Grip side looks really nice. I concealed some blemishes off camera with the Makeup Forever Full Cover Concealer, and now I'm going in with the Milk Sunshine Under Eye Tint in Brighten. This is in 01. Ooh, look at that. Doesn't that look like something from Star Wars? I'm into it. Sometimes these take like a long time. Whoa, uh-oh. So the applicator looks like that. Don't know how I feel about it. Just gonna start with a little bit. Quite peachy. Okay, yep, it's like a roller ball. Hopefully that's not too much, although I think it says tint, so we're probably fine. And I'm gonna try my fingers so I can really feel how the product is, and especially with the primers underneath. Something very strange is happening. It's like, I can't tell if it's pilling, but it feels like there's zero coverage to this product. Or almost zero. It's like, oh God, on both sides. Look at my two middle fingers. Oh no. What is happening? So I do not know what is happening here, but it is a total disaster. Oh no. So this is what the shade 01 looks like. I guess it's an under eye corrector, so I understand why they made it so peach. I think I need to read a little bit more about this. So this is $28. Apparently it's a bestseller, and I have the lightest shade. And there are 7 shades total. It's a light coverage under eye concealer and eye brightener with vitamin C, hyaluronic acid, vegan, cruelty-free, blah, 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 fragrance-free. Yeah, this is not for me. I'm gonna see if I can build it up at all, but it says light coverage and it's described as a tint. So, you know, there's only so much you can do when a product just doesn't fit your preferences. Shade definitely is not for me. Way, way, way too yellow and peachy. And I also have a sensitivity to vitamin C, so I really can't continue to use this anyways. I'm gonna pass this to someone who might be able to enjoy it more than I can. I don't get it. I mean, I'm working with their primers, so really this shouldn't be an issue. We're gonna see how this wears and I'm gonna circle back later. And now let's move on to bronzer. So they sent me their matte bronzer stick in the shade Baked. Baked is definitely pretty intense, but it does feel quite emollient, and I feel like maybe I could make it pretty sheer if I just use a little bit. So we'll see if it's too warm for my cool skin. As always with any kind of a cream product, I go in with my fingers instead of directly on my face. I just always find that that works a little bit better to get more precise. And then I don't end up over applying product. I really like when a cream product has a matte finish. For me, that's always what works the best on my skin. Oof, that is really pretty. Really blendable. You know, it definitely has more of a warm undertone since it is a bronzer. That's what it's supposed to do, but it doesn't seem too warm for me. It's not quite as blendable as my beloved Makeup by Mario Skin Enhancer in light medium. That's my favorite product. It's so sheer that it's incredibly skin-like and you just can't mess it up. So I do prefer the Makeup by Mario, but if you like a bronzer that's more pigmented and you like the application of a cream stick, this is a really nice formula. I know that this is one of Milk Makeup's most hyped products, and I can see why. Moving on to brows, Milk Makeup sent me their Cush Fiber Brow Gel in the shade Herb. This is what the wand looks like, kind of similar to the Glossier Boy Brow. I find that these kind of like shorter, stubbier brow gels tend to be a little bit more difficult to control. It's a little bit messy because I'm really trying to fill in the gaps in my brows, but I think next time I would just go in with a pencil and then use this to kind of set the look. It is giving me a really nice, fluffy, sculpted but not too polished kind of brow look. It feels like more of a matte formula too. Instead of like a very glossy kind of brow gel, it definitely has a more matte formula. To really coat your eyebrows, you gotta like get in there and then it gets really messy. So definitely do pencil first and then just a little bit of this. Just clean that up a bit. Okay, the color's a little dark, right? It's a little dark. I feel like I look like shit so far. Next up, we have blush, and Milk Makeup sent me 2 of their cream blushes, but honestly, I really want to use this Hue Beam from Live Tinted. But I'll swatch these for you. This is the Lip and Cheek in the shade Quirk, and on the back of my hand, you can see it's a really juicy, gorgeous rosy raspberry shade. And then I have their Bionic blush in Teleport, and this one is like an almost neon orange. So I have used the Lip and Cheek formula before. I used to own one actually, and I decluttered it because I felt that the formula was super, super oily on my skin, and it was really sheer. I would build it up, and then the more I built it up, the more oil I got on my face. So this kind of formula would be great if you don't have skin that gets really oily in your T-zone like I have. If you love a dewy product, then I can totally recommend the Lip and Cheek formula. They have beautiful, beautiful colors as well, and this one seems great. The Bionic blush I haven't tried, but no one's asked me to review this, so let me know if you'd like me to try this on camera. It seems very dewy, very sheer, very glossy. But I want to try this bad boy from Live Tinted. So Live Tinted says that you can tap each shade and apply where the sun naturally hits the skin. For a sculpted look, you can use the small end of the brush and apply the bronzer along the cheekbones to add shape and definition. And then you can apply the blush on the high points of your cheekbones for a pop of color. With the fluffy end of the Duality powder brush, you can buff and blend the blush and bronzer together for a seamless, natural finish. I do already have the Milk Makeup bronzer on, so I'm just first gonna tap in with this middle shade here. And let's get some color on the back of my hands. Let's see what happens when I kind of swirl it all around. Okay, so it has a very, very powdery formula. There's a lot of kickback, but it's surprisingly sheer. That's the color swirled all together, and you can see it's really, really light in pigment, that is. So I'm just gonna take a tap and then just try applying it lightly on my skin. And that seems to give you a really nice warm bronzer shade with just like a hint of a reddish undertone. And again, so I like this product, but I'm not sure about this brush. The brush is so huge that it's really applying product like all over my face. And as you can see, there's quite a lot of shimmer in here. Not shimmer, like a gold reflect. It's not noticeable in the skin. It just looks beautiful and glossy. You can't see any shimmer particles or anything like that, but you can see the sheen. And when it comes to any kind of blush product that has a lot of reflection to it, I want to have a lot more control. I think with the brush, I wouldn't use this big end, but at the same time, the small end is a little bit too small for me to apply blush. So I don't think the brush is it for me, but I think the color in the formula of the Hue Beam is really beautiful. And I'm just gonna try to even that out by tapping my foundation brush back over my skin so I can take a little bit of that blush down. Much better. Now that I took that down a little bit, I feel like if I use a brush that has more control, that's just a better fit for my personal face shape, I would love to use this on a regular basis. That's a really pretty color. And here are the 3 shades in the Hue Beam for you, and they look like that. So it looks like you get a nice amount of control depending on what your skin tone is. Like you can really go for that darker shade, you can combine them all together, or you can stay more in the lighter end. So it does seem to be like a product that's pretty universally flattering. And honestly, I feel like I can just skip highlighter because that has a lot of sheen to it. I really don't want to add any more. Oh, I forgot. There was also a cream blush from this brand called Finding Ferdinand, and this is a gorgeous, really deep brown shade. Oh, it's more like a Merlot. Very pigmented. Wow, okay. Very stiff formula, so that's gonna be much more long lasting. It's not super dewy. It's pretty hard, pretty stiff. There is still some emollients to it, so I bet it would make like a really nice lip product. So let me know if you want to see a review on that one in the future. So excited to use this new Wander Beauty eyeshadow, but first I'm going to try the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Eye Primer, and it has a doe foot applicator. I'm really interested to see how this goes because, ooh, you don't really get a lot of product, do you? Oh, whoa, it's like matte silicone slip feeling. I was expecting it to be really tacky like the Hydro Grip Primer, but it's really slippery. I feel like that's the opposite of what you want out of an eye primer, but I mean, I trust them over me. So we're gonna do one side with primer and one side without primer just to see if there's any difference in the way that the eyeshadow looks and wears throughout the day. And the new Wander Beauty Double Date eyeshadow duo shade is Bubbly and Cheers. This is the cream on the bottom and it's the shade Cheers. And this is the metallic topper in the shade Bubbly. Oh shit, that's pretty. So this is the cream shadow and it's this amazing kind of mauvey rose reflective cream. The glitter topper almost has a transparent base and then just beautiful flecks of pink and gold glitter that's really flaky and textured and reflective. And then this is the two of them layered together. I love wearing the Double Date eyeshadow duos this way because I find that the cream really holds on to the glitter well, and then you just get that beautiful kind of rose gold look. I'm so excited. I really like this formula. I like to just go in with my fingers for the cream and I'm gonna apply it all over the eye. That's a really pretty rose shade. I can tell because I'm very familiar with this cream formula already, just in the other shades, that the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer is making it spread a lot more than it usually does. Interesting. I feel like the Hydro Grip Primer is just like blending away this eyeshadow because it's a stiffer cream shadow, but the primer is making it like really thin and slippery. Whereas on this side, I feel like I have much more control over where that shadow is gonna go and set down. I don't know if you're able to visibly see the difference on camera, but in terms of the blending, this one I'm able to have so much more control over. Yeah, do you see how this one just kind of blended away a little bit more and this one is more in place? I'm gonna try going with a little bit of a brush with the cream again on this side. Yeah, I feel like it's like not even sticking to the primer. How weird. Now I'm just gonna go in with my finger with a little bit of that metallic shadow and press it on top. So beautiful. God, I love this glitter topper formula. People are sleeping on this. And I do have a little bit of fallout with it. I'm not used to that, so maybe it's the primer? And then let's try it again on this side. Wow, look at the difference in the fallout under my eyes. The Milk Makeup Primer was so slippery that that glitter really had nothing to hold on to, and it's just slipped all the way under my eye here. But on this side, without the primer, just that Wander Beauty cream as a base, there's a lot less fallout. Sadly, this eye primer is gonna be a pass for me. And now I'm just taking a little pencil brush on the cream shadow and I'm gonna put that on my lower lash line. I have to be honest, I'm like kind of bummed about this video right now. And this is why I really don't like doing first impressions, because it's like, is it me? Am I just really bad at makeup? Do I just need to be, you know, spending a little bit more time using these products, figuring out how they work best? Because I feel bad, like almost all of these products from Milk Makeup did not work out for me. And I don't want to give them a bad review without really thoroughly testing them first. But at the same time, I feel pretty confident that my experiences are not my fault. I totally forgot I have the Milk Makeup Future Fluid Concealer in 8C that I had purchased a couple months ago. So I'm just gonna clean up some of the fallout, get a little bit of extra coverage because that Sunshine Eye Tint just was not slaying. I do really enjoy this concealer. It has a matte finish and it's very, very blendable. I don't personally find that it emphasizes any dryness under my eyes, although I have had friends who have said that they feel like it does emphasize texture a little bit. And I believe that they say this is marketed as being full coverage, but to me, I think that the Future Fluid Concealer is more medium. Curled my lashes and added some black pencil on the upper waterline, and now I've got two mascaras we can use. I have the mascara from Milk Makeup, and I also have a new one from Finding Ferdinand. I'm gonna go with Finding Ferdinand since I've already tried so much Milk Makeup already. I tend to prefer tubing mascaras because they rinse off with water, so I probably wouldn't reach for this anyways, and I think I'm gonna pass it to a friend. This is the Lash Lift by Finding Ferdinand. It reminds me a lot of the Maybelline Sky High Lash Sensational Mascara that's tubing that I love. That Maybelline mascara is my favorite mascara formula of all time. And this is also a tubing formula. Finding Ferdinand is an Asian and woman-owned small business out of New York. Their whole thing is custom color. So in that cream blush formula that I showed earlier that I didn't apply, you can make that in your own color. You can do that with the lip gloss. They have lipsticks as well. And I think that's really cool. I haven't seen the kind of company that does that online. You know, I've only seen like the Bite Lip Lab. As far as the mascara goes, it's definitely not the worst mascara I've ever tried. Also not the best, it's just not giving me any length or really any volume, like very much a natural lash experience here. You know, sometimes I have trouble with lashes on one eye, not the other. This right eye has got like the Beyonce lashes. They always show up, they always perform and do their job. I really wanted to like this mascara, but I just don't feel like it's really doing anything. I love my Thrive, I love my Maybelline. They really lift my lashes, they lengthen and they volume and separate. They never flake or smudge and they remove with warm water. This is just giving me like such a natural lash effect. I prefer something that has a little bit more oomph, but I'm gonna check back in later in the day and we'll see how it wears. Before we move on to lips, I'm gonna set my face with a product that I love. I actually just ran out of the little mini size that they have, and this is the Milk Makeup Grip and Set Refresh Spray. I'm just gonna give it a little shake and a spritz. It's like super fine, but it sprays a lot of product, so you really don't have to spray that much. And what I love about this is it really does kind of melt all the makeup together, but it doesn't leave my face with a super dewy, oily finish like a lot of other setting sprays can give me. And I believe this one's fragrance and essential oil free. First, I'm gonna go in with Innbeauty's Lip Glaze in Merlot. It's their new shade, and I'm in love. It's so perfect. It is the reddish brown berry of my dreams, and it's 100% a dupe for Dior Mahogany. And again, you can get 20 to 25% off of Innbeauty during their Black Friday sale, which goes from now until November 27th with the codes SHOP20 or SHOP25. Okay, now let's try the rest. I have this Milk Makeup Electric Glossy Lip Plumper in the shade Buzzed. Disclaimer, I'm not a lip plumper person. Anything that's really cooling or warming on the lips is intended to plump them through irritation, and irritation leads to dryness, so that just does not work for me. But I am gonna try it and review it just so that I can tell you what the experience is like in case you're curious. Has a squeezy tube applicator. Nice formula. Oh. Oregano? A eucalyptus or oregano? Pepper? Ooh. No, it feels nice. Like if it didn't have the herbal quality to it, it feels like very balmy, more on the thinner side, but in a way that I can appreciate. There's on one hand a cooling effect and there's also a little bit of a warming effect. What is in this? So they say it's an ultra cushiony lip plumper with a comfortable tingling sensation for the appearance of fuller, smoother, soft lips instantly and over time. Yeah, it's tingly. I'm definitely getting a tingly sensation. Szechuan pepper. It's Szechuan pepper. So tingly, so spicy. Very weird. I'm gonna take this off. I'm sorry, Milk Makeup. I really wanted to like all of this, but it's not in the cards. Okay, let's go on with this lip gloss by Finding Ferdinand in the shade. I can't read. Their stickers are too small. I'm sorry, I'm doing my best. Okay. That's pretty. Okay, so this is a very, very sheer, non-sticky, but not super thin and slippery lip gloss. I would describe this color as a rosy, light medium beige. Very flattering, non-sticky, maybe a tiny little hint of a vanilla scent, although it really is so subtle that there may not be anything in here. Nothing particularly groundbreaking here. I would say it's just a non-sticky sheer lip gloss formula. Lip Tinted launched another shade of their Huegloss formula, which is one of my all-time favorite formulas. And it's like a liquid lip balm basically that's really thick and cushiony. And this is in the shade Brilliant. How pretty is that? Woo! And you know, I'm a sucker for like a super thick applicator. Hopefully it's not gritty because it's pretty shimmery. Oh, that's beautiful. Wow, okay, love that. You can't feel any glitter. It's so smooth. It's just like this thick, cushiony liquid lip balm. No fragrance or scent at all. This is what I wanted the Fenty Gloss Bomb to be. The Gloss Bomb was thin and slippery, it kind of got in my mouth, and I found it to be really gritty, but this has a high shine finish and it's more of like a thick liquid lip balm. So if you're looking for a lip luminizer in your life, you can get this in a trio on Ulta or on the Lip Tinted website. I believe it's $36 for all 3 shades, if not less expensive than that. And it's a limited edition kit and you can only get this shade in that kit. Looking at everything here, I have thoughts. I can already see that the Finding Ferdinand mascara is flaking under my eyes a little bit. I'm gonna give final thoughts on everything that I tried rapid style. Setting spray, love, already purchased this before, love it. Lip Tinted Hue Beam and the brush. Don't like the brush, neither of these shapes or sizes are brushes I would use on my face. Love the Hue Beam. I think the blush is super, super pretty. Definitely gonna have to try using it as a bronzer next time as well. Finding Ferdinand gloss, really nice, but in my opinion, nothing special. Finding Ferdinand mascara, it flaked, it really made my lashes droop a little bit and didn't give me much volume or length, so for me it's a pass. Milk Makeup Lip Plumper, absolutely not. One of the most horrible tastes I've ever tried in a lip product. Lip Tinted Huegloss and Brilliant, yes, absolutely yes. Essential, love it, so glad I have it. The Water Beauty Double Date Eyeshadow Duo in Bubbly and Cheers. I just love the way that the glitter looks. I think it's so pretty, it's so reflective. I really like the way that the cream interacts with that flaky metallic shade. If you haven't checked out this formula yet, I have a really big one and done eyeshadow video. I'll link on the screen and you can see me apply, I think at least 3 of the shades that they have, if not 4. One of my all-time favorite eyeshadow formulas for sure. Innbeauty Lip Glaze in Merlot. One of my all-time favorite formulas. I talk about it all the time, and Merlot is now tied for #1 favorite for me along with Berry Jam, Fruity Cereal, and Mystery Glaze. Those are my 4 favorites, and I forgot to mention the scent of this one is like very, very subtle grape. Like sour grape candy is how I would describe it. It's not something like medicinal or artificial. I'm pretty sure they knew that grape would be like a bit of a polarizing scent. I think it's more subtle than the other lip glaze scents that I've tried. Beautiful shade. Like reddish brown berry, so good. The Milk Makeup Bronzer in Baked, I think is beautiful. It's matte, but it's really skin-like, it's blendable. I love that I can just pop this in my little travel size makeup bag if I wanna bring it with me on the go. I wish that they made this formula in blushes. Brow gel, TBD. My brows feel really nice. They just feel totally soft, not crunchy, flaky, or weird. Like I said in the video, I think I just have to use a pencil to really fill in the gaps, and then I can set this with the brow gel, because this is very, very pigmented, and so I ran into some control issues, but I can see this being a favorite formula if I do the pencil first, and then I go in with this. Ooh, Hydro Grip Eye Primer. It's not grippy at all, super slippery, made fallout happen under my eyes, whereas the eye without primer performed really well. So this one I would say is a pass. Same with the Sunshine Eye Tint. It pilled, it got really weird. It gave me almost no coverage. The applicator is kind of strange. It only comes in a few shades. Definitely not my vibe. I prefer something more full coverage. I do like the Future Fluid Concealer though. This is the only thing that I bought from this Milk Makeup haul, and I really like it. I have a review that I will link on the screen above where I compared it to the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Concealer, so definitely check that out. And the primers. So this one's a pass. This one I'm absolutely gonna keep. I'm really impressed with the way this made my skin look. Next, I think I have to compare this to my favorite Exa Splash Zone primer, and we'll do a little showdown. Whew, that's it. Okay, that really did not go as planned. I feel kind of ugly right now, which is never a good feeling when you test a bunch of new products on camera. But you know what? First impressions are always really fun to watch because like we're in this together. If you like watching first impressions, definitely click the like button below so I know to create more content like this. And wherever you are, I appreciate you. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.